Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. What's good? What's good? What's good? What's popping, everyone? What's good? We got another one. I'm your host, Lou Sakes. I'm over here messing up, man. It's been a long week. I know. I'm
I
out
feel
my
you, dog.
groove, man. How you doing, Jay Tuck? I would
Good.
say special guest, but when people, a certain amount of people keep coming in your house and they keep kicking in your feet, they ain't no guest no more, man.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying?
Facts.
So, how you been,
Yeah.
man?
Yeah, man. Things going good, bro. Just staying working, busy, man. Happy early Father's Day to all the fathers out there. I'm about to go hang out with my boys, man, because my boys are grown now, but they think I'm washed. You know what I'm saying? They ain't here. I was sitting here showing them some WCW versus NWO clips, and they was calling my games Minecraft and all, like, you know what I'm saying? So they disrespected me, man. So I'm about to take them to the bowling alley, to the arcade, and I'm about to bring the BTA, man, because they, you know what I'm saying, they've been disrespecting me. So to all the fathers out there, and yeah, just been working hard, bro, and grinding through this off-season OTAs, and just business as usual when it comes to Cowboys Nation.
Business as usual, indeed. And yes, happy Father's Day to you as well. We got the little ones. You hating on our games like that, man?
Yeah, bro. I mean, honestly, I didn't. Honestly, I didn't know. Like, man, y'all know nothing about no GoldenEye, and I pulled up GoldenEye and showed them some clips. I'm like, this shit does kind of look bad, bro. Look bad. It does look bad. You know what I'm saying? It does look bad. I ain't gonna lie. I pulled up Diddy Kong Racing. I was like, man, all right. I see it does look like Minecraft. You know what I'm saying? It really
Nostalgia,
do look
yeah,
like
nostalgia.
yeah, look.
Got you. It's okay. I don't care, man. Hey, look, hey, our games back in the day had substance. A lot of these
Right.
games right now, the most y'all got is microtransactions. And look at that level.
Right. Yeah. Microtransactions. I was thinking about going to buy them a Switch 2. It's damn near like $700 to play some Mario Kart. I'm like, nah, you know what I'm saying? We gonna pull out the N64 and get active, you know what I'm saying? So yeah,
Yes,
man. So it's all the fathers out there.
facts, man. We're gonna get right into it. It's a conversation that people have been implying, but not
Mhm.
really been, directly talking about for what I've been seeing. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
And that is Mike McCarthy versus Schottenheimer, the Cowboys dichotomy, the change that we've been having. What are
Mhm.
the major differences? A lot of trigger words been going around in the streets, culture, scheme, physicality, and I think this is a great topic to hit on right when we hitting the peak of what Schottenheimer is going to be, and that's the training camp. Because that's, to me, that's the
Mhm.
greatest test
Mhm.
of what you want to set in training camp. And I just wanted to go over, let's just touch. We of course we got the new coach, but you
Right.
you saying it's a new car smell, and you've been pushing back on Cowboy Nation. I'm not pushing back, just letting them know, hey, remember this is a new car smell. So just let's
Mhm.
start with that, the new car smell.
Yeah, yeah. Anytime that you get something new, there's going to be some excitement in the air. And we went through this last year when we moved on from Dan Quinn to Mike Zimmer. It was just, y'all remember those video clips everyone was posting, like, oh, okay, Coach Zimmer's going to hold this defense accountable. He's going to get Mike off the podcast. We're going to be a whole lot tougher. We're going to stop the run. And then we kind of looked up throughout the course of the season, and the same issues really existed. And so I get it. Whenever there's change, there's going to be excitement. And I'm not telling Dallas Cowboys fans not to be excited about Brian Schottenheimer, because he does bring some things to this organization, this team, that you should be excited about. But what people have to remember, this is no outside hire. He's had his ass in the facility for the past 2 years, bro. And I am just from the disbelief, Lou, to be honest with you, that he had no influence. Like, Mike McCarthy strategically brought him in and said, okay, now sit in the corner and shut your mouth, right? So there was some influence that he had offensively and with this organization. So what I'm trying to encourage Cowboys fans to do, like, let's just be patient, right? I get the excitement, but it's like every little thing that he does is blown out of proportion. Oh, you see him at the golf course, he had a drink in his hand.
Mm-hmm.
All right, you know what I'm saying? Like, the backward visors. Dan Quinn had the backwards hats. Like, we're going to get to the situation here next month where, okay, it's football talk, right? The other things are cute. I get the competition with the ping pongs and the paintballing and all sorts of stuff, and you're dancing class with the quarterback. Okay, now it's time to have football discussions. And so that is what I'm really trying to wait on to see. What are the differences between the lines that we are having, besides from Mike McCarthy, as we made the switch to Brian Schottenheimer. But overall, I like Shotty, but I feel like Mike has just gotten a bad rap, and it's always easy to kind of place the guy who's no longer here as the fall guy. We always do that. You know, it's Dan Quinn. You know, D-Law was the most horrible POS on the planet now. Now it's Mike McCarthy. So I get that, but I just really want to caution Cowboys fans to pump the brakes just slightly.
So let's talk about that. Like, you know, you just gave a great example without even giving an example with the video games and how it's on the opposite side of the spectrum. You know, we hate everything that we had. You know what I'm saying? Versus, you know, video games, nostalgia blinds us into taking us back to those feelings.
Right.
Is our feelings for Green Bay, is it literally blinding us from the entire stint of the McCarthy era?
Yeah, 1000%. Right. I think that the Green Bay game has kind of just put the stain on Mike McCarthy, because even if you talk about what's happened since Green Bay, let's keep it a buck, y'all. I know last season was bad, but we was riddled with injuries. So it wasn't like we had a fully healthy team and, you know, we kind of flamed out and the team quit. So I keep telling Cowboys fans, I wish a lot of the things that people were saying about Mike McCarthy was true, because I would have me about 3 Travis Hunter jerseys right now. You know what I'm saying? Like, when the team had every opportunity to fold on Mike McCarthy, say he's not the guy, quit, they didn't. They fought. And not only did the players fought for Mike McCarthy, Jerry and Steven strongly considered bringing him back. Mike walked. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's what people are forgetting. He wasn't fired. He wasn't, you know, like, he decided to say, nah, go ahead and keep it. So I don't think that this narrative that everything that transpired last year has been solely Mike McCarthy's fault. I think it was front office. I think it was personnel. I think it was culture, you know, that kind of was just dark clouding the entire season. And, you know, people say, okay, the offense got stagnant, right? But let's keep it a buck. Mike McCarthy, for his first few years in Dallas, he had to battle with not even being a play caller at all. You know, everything he was told strategically, you can come in, you can pick your entire staff, but that Kellen Moore kid, he is going to stay. He's going to call plays. Now, that would have worked if he was Dan Quinn, a defensive guy, but he's an offensive guy. He's an offensive play caller. So his hands was tied, and Mike McCarthy was putting out these warning signals like, hey, if it was me, typically I would have a play sheet to get our playmakers involved. Hey, me particularly, I don't like option routes but no one was picking up on that. Then finally, they moved on from Kellen Moore. Everyone questioned Mike McCarthy and his old Texas Coast offense. He brings in Brian Schottenheimer, who's the current coach, and Dak Prescott has one of the best seasons in his career, right? High interceptions, led the league in interceptions to damn near MVP consideration, right? But Mike McCarthy didn't get any credit for that. When the Dallas Cowboys were rolling that season, Lou, you know what I'm saying? This is kind of before you jumped in here. Everybody was telling me Cowboys don't lose at home. Our offense is potent. Dak Prescott's the MVP. Our defense, like, everybody was just singing the praises. Then the Green Bay game happened. And it's like, oh, he didn't have the team prepared. You know, so it's like, it's just one of those things where I get it. I understand it from a fan perspective. But what I'm trying to warn a lot of people is whether you go from Jason Garrett to Wade Phillips, to Bill Parcells, to Mike McCarthy, to now Brian Schottenheimer, there are still things inside this organization that stench, and that is disrupting us from being a successful organization, a championship organization. So let's not get blinded by the lights.
Yeah. So let's get right into it. Let me switch the vibe just a little bit. I think this is what I want. Let me see. Yeah, this is right here. This is right here. Yep. So let's get right into it then. Because let's start. I don't want to start ugly. Let's start what we're missing from Mike McCarthy. So, like, So because I had my gripes. I'm gonna get them out too about Mike McCarthy, even in the midst of them 12-5 seasons. So I'll be honest with you. What we're gonna miss from McCarthy, I think he brought a sense of stability to us. A high end of stability, which on the opposite end, we were coming from Garrett. It was nice to see. He brought a new offense, even though we came from such a stale running attack before then. With the Scott Linehans, and then we went into Kellen Moore in the I forgot the name of the offense y'all like to call it, but he only targets who's hot, which is the digit system. I hated that. And he brought the West Coast system, and he brought pedigree. That's what he brings he brought to the Cowboys, and we got 12-5 seasons. So like I said, the stability. And I'm be honest with you, McCarthy did pretty much impress, because even when he was here, he had to handle such a terrible work environment from the get-go. As soon as he got here, he's an offensive coach, and he can't, handle all the, the play calls. We have two completely different offensive, philosophies in the kitchen, cooking at the same time, and it was a mess from the beginning. Then he had to deal with, hiring of Dan Quinn, and constantly hearing that, hey, he's coming for your job, and then at the end, he has to deal with, the potential of grooming his next replacement. So I would give him that it was not fair for McCarthy in his entire stint. So go over to
I agree. And there was a situation. So it was his third year. I'm trying to think, when did Dak get hurt that first game versus Tampa? So that was 2022, I believe.
Yeah.
Because I remember, and this is my infamous video that I had, Lou. I was downstairs at AT&T Stadium. Jerry Jones comes by, he's talking to everyone. He's talking to my mama, and she's like, "Oh, I need a job." And Jerry's like, "Oh, can you coach?" He's like, "No, I don't need a job coaching." She's like, "I need a job just working in the front office," right? Just joking with Jerry. She's like, "Well, I'm going to be needing a new head coach soon." So there was, and this is right on camera, I had it, TMZ wanted to buy this, so it's like, I felt like Mike McCarthy, the Cowboys liked him, but they didn't love him. It was kind of like, and so it's always been this tug and pull. And we have to remember, who is Mike McCarthy? He's a guy who's won a Super Bowl, right? He's been around the league. He's been around football minds, from Gruden when he was at Pitt, Holmgren, like the list goes on and on, right? He's been around football people. He's Pittsburgh tough. And I'm gonna keep it a buck. Mike has some pettiness in him. You know what I'm saying? He's extremely petty. He's kind of smug and petty, right? And so there was always this tug and pull when it comes to the front office and Mike McCarthy. And you even heard it last year with Jordan Lewis saying it and Dak Prescott saying it. And I hate that our media members never pressed this when they said, I would like to see Mike McCarthy do things when he has full control. And no one ever paused and said, well, what do you mean by, like, what did he have control over? Right. So there were things going on behind the scenes. So I felt like the one thing that you said, Mike McCarthy did bring consistency. It wasn't 8-8. It wasn't those variables. There was a different type of confidence, I would say, with this team from the Garrett tenure, going for it on fourth down, the big moxie kicks with Brandon Aubrey, some of that type of environment and culture. But also what people really discredit and do not give this man enough credit for is he won with injuries. He won with injuries. Every Cowboys fan watching this right now will say, it used to be when Romo went down, everything fell off a cliff. Y'all remember how it used to be when Sean Lee would go down, everything would fall off the cliff. But he would have Cooper Rush, and then LVE goes down. You lose Tyron Smith, you lose Terrence Steele, and somehow he was finding out ways to win ball games, right? And I just don't think he got enough credit for that. Now, did he get us to the Super Bowl? Absolutely not. But he did build that consistency that you were talking about, Lou, and that's something I always wanted. And I hated the 8-8s, and then it's 16 wins, it's 4 wins, it's 8 it's taking us time to recoup. So he did give us that stability. Now, when it comes to the differences between Mike and also Shotty, I don't think it's a right and wrong thing, right? Because I always call it, and a guy who's been in sales is IQ and EQ, right? I feel like Mike leans towards IQ, which is intellectual quality, versus Shotty, who we'll talk about in a second, is more of emotional. And what do you mean by that? We've all known the people who, I'll say it even as a content creator, right? There are content creators who can tell you everything about DVOA and EPA. Like, they know all the science, the analytics, the intelligence. They'll wow you with all the facts. And this is a go-go formation and like all these crazy analytics and football knowledge, but there's no emotional attachment, right?
Right.
Me and probably yourself and others, there's an emotional attachment when I know my subscribers. I've met them at games. They pulled up to my tailgate. I've met their family members. They met so there's that deeper connection that I have with my followers than the average media person has with them. So I think when it comes to Mike, he was a football guy. X and O's, he can probably smoke everybody, just like Belichick, just like Parcells, kind of that older tree. But was he going to go out paintballing at 10 p.m. with Mike and the team? Absolutely not. Dan Quinn can go do that. You know what I'm saying? But bro, I got other football stuff to do. But hearing the conversations behind the scenes, he was more about work-life balance. I had Will Blackman, as a good friend of mine, who was on the Cowboys staff. Like, Mike would be like, hey, bro, we're not going to stay here all night. You know what I'm saying? Go home to your family. That time when Micah went to the fight during camp, all right, just make sure that you're back. So he would do things like that, but he not pulling up to everybody's dinner and probably knowing, Jalen Tolbert's family. It's just like, hey, bro, I got other things to do. So I think that's where the biggest difference when it comes between Shotty and Mike, as far as what we're seeing right now is concerned.
Yeah, and I agree. So let me address this guy right here, Cowboys County. I disagree. Everything with McCarthy fell force from Blade One. Never cared for him. He ended up being the same Mike Aaron Rodgers talked about. Now, this right here, because I'm gonna be honest with you, I don't know how that relationship even worked, because we're seeing what Aaron Rodgers is too,
right?
And so. If I know that comment you just gave, I appreciate it, but it may seem like Aaron Rodgers is in the wrong, but I feel like you were saying, he's just a no nonsense guy, and like he knows how to handle a lot. He's a great, I would say he's a crisis manager, and it goes into his. We're gonna go into his faults. I think it's because he can do this because he over delegates, in my opinion. So I appreciate what McCarthy brought. He had a plan A, plan B. He was ready to go. But let's get into his faults, and this is what really irked my mind about McCarthy.
And also to answer that question too, those are two strong egos. I mean, Dylan. You saw what we saw what Aaron Rodgers is doing. You don't think Aaron Rodgers is about to run through Mike Tomlin right now? So it's different. So for people to act like Mike McCarthy was this lame duck coach, cut the bullshit. Because let's keep it a buck. We upgraded over Jason Garrett. Right, we improved over Jason Garrett. Now, did he get to a Super Bowl? Not, but he got us closer. We haven't, and that's the thing, right? We set this standard that, okay, we haven't done something in 30 years. It's on Mike McCarthy or it's on Dak Prescott. Just getting a road playoff win, that was a huge check mark. Just beating Brady in a football game, that was a huge check mark. A lot of people, bro, during that Tampa game, they were scared to death. But he got that victory, so we don't give him credit for that. We always want to pin this lame duck stuff on it. Having Dak Prescott play at the MVP level post Kellen Moore in his first year calling the offense, where's the credit for that? Losing LVE, losing DeMarcus Lawrence, you had Zach Martin is limited, Tyron, and you were still winning games competitive. And even this past season, we were one win away from being in the playoffs with Cooper Rush and me at corner. So where is the credit for that? You know what I'm saying? I get we want the trophies, we want all that, but let's not act like this man, with dealing with all this pressure, did not meet the standard that he was supposed to do in Dallas, which is give us a winning culture. He created a winning culture. Now it's going to be up to Shotty to build on top of that. But remember, y'all, when we used to play against Mike McCarthy, he was the coach that would make Jason Garrett piss down his leg.
Look goofy. That's why I was happy we got him, because he was making him look. It was night and day.
Right. It was night and day.
Night and day.
Night and day.
Like Garrett, like he just sat there and just clapped. I said, all right. He just sit, like nothing from an X's and O's standpoint, nothing from a a inspirational standpoint, he
Right.
gave us absolutely nothing. And then it was even worse when he came to the podium. He gave
Right.
us nothing.
Gave us nothing. And Mike McCarthy would whoop Jason Garrett's ass with Matt Flynn. You know what I'm saying? And so it's like, okay, let's give him some credit. We'll talk about the faults here in a second, but let's not act like he was the worst coach known to man and all the faults in Dallas was on Mike McCarthy. That's just the one thing that I disagree with the Cowboys fans, but I get it. That's just how you cope sometimes when you move on.
Before we move on to the faults, man, shout out to everyone's in the chat. Continue, join the conversation with us. We got 355 people watching.
Yo,
make sure to like, and share, subscribe wherever you watching from. I'll put CFO stuff, his information in the video description after this is uploaded, really. But y'all should know if y'all on the corner of the galaxy and y'all know me and y'all don't know Jay Tuck, I don't know what you doing. You're up under that rock Patrick Star. You feel me? But let's get to his faults. Because I'm gonna be honest with you, this is what I'm not one of these Cowboys fans that wanted to move on from McCarthy right after the Green Bay game. It was a slow build up for me because I noticed things from a X's and O's football standpoint that I felt like it really irked my mind, because if McCarthy would have corrected some of these, it would have pushed us over the top. It would have been the difference. But I know he was in the environment. I can't fault him. I am glad what we had in McCarthy and how he handled it. He showed us a lot. The very first thing I gotta fault him for is his hirings. Right. That's the very first thing I have to. Now I understand. You can hire your homeboys, and best believe if I was to get a job, I am going to hire my homeboys. Right. But I'm not going to hire people who I clearly know they're not going to do the job, to the best capable ability. And on top of that, you are a over delegated type coach. So I think the people around you, like if we take Shotty out of this system right here and we put McCarthy in here, we probably get a different McCarthy. Right. You know what I'm saying? Because he over delegates and he wants, guys to handle the situations and everything like that. He created that divide mentality within it. I'm gonna get on that too. But if you're going to be a guy who over delegates, I think the people around you need to be up to par. Right. Yeah, I 1000% agree. Right, because all the coaching staff, like even with the Mike Nolan hire, I was kind of like, But the one thing I do give him credit for is he recognized it quickly and then fired Mike Nolan. You know what I'm saying? Hey, dog. You know what I'm saying? You're my dog and all. I gotta get you up out of here. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, I agree. Right. It was never a powerful hire. And I had to go back in the archives. I don't remember how the Dan Quinn thing kind of came about. Yeah. I don't think that was McCarthy. That might have been Jerry and Steven that brought in Dan Quinn. But yeah, it was never those power hires where it's just like you just knew anytime that he was going to hire somebody, there was going to be some type of connection that he knew. And it was always this kind of older mentality, this older philosophy. It was never any new energy. But like I said, sometimes, bro, like I said, if there's anybody that's good to know in the NFL, it's Mike McCarthy, because he don't pitch you on. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, bro, like you're gonna make $2 million. If you can get that you know what I'm saying, that letter of recommendation from Mike McCarthy, he gonna definitely pick up the phone. You know what I'm saying? So I get it, but yeah, I agree. Like there were certain things with the hires that I didn't agree with. I did a whole job. Running back coach, never coached. Running back coach, yeah. What's his name? Jeff Blasco. Yes, yeah. Blasco. I did a video on Jeff Blasco, the running back coach, and I remember when I dropped it, everybody was like, "Bro, who the hell are you talking about?" And when you stem back, it was just one of Mike McCarthy's homeboys from back in college. You know what I'm saying? Like, and so it was one of those things where he wasn't getting the best of the best. Like, oh man, I played football with old dude back in the day. You know what I'm saying? He a little tired end coach, but he was hella cool, man. You want to come to Dallas and coach the right? It was one of those things. It wasn't qualified. So yeah, I 1000% agree with you, but
I think the difference is because Mike was viewed as the overseer. You know what I'm saying? So he felt like he didn't need to hire guys that's above him or more knowledgeable. He needs to kind of hire guys that just, he's comfortable with, that can run the ship and take orders as he delegates, as you mentioned. Versus I think Shotty's in a situation like, hey, bro, I got to get the best of the best in here. And even if I got 4 or 5 guys on the offensive side of the ball who's been offensive coordinators before, they might know more than me, then so be it, because I have to win now. Versus Mike is like, man, I got you, dog. You know what I'm saying? I pick up the phone and see what Jeff Blasco's up to. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So,
This is
Scott McCurley.
Oh my God, you know what I'm saying? Like,
I said, hey, Mike, you know what I'm saying? Hold your boy Jay Tuck down. You know what I'm saying? Because I know if Mike got an opportunity to send a referral, you know what I'm saying, he gonna put me down.
And that goes into my other thing, like you hiring your guys. And let's go into the trigger word is the culture that you're setting, or the standard that you're setting, not from a football standpoint, but just from a philosophical standpoint. Let's just, let's bag out, you know what I'm saying, like they do in GTA, boom, 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 you know what I'm saying, and oversee it.
Right.
And if you look on this team, the thing I didn't like is that we were ultra divided, clicked. Sometimes it'll seem like we were 3 different teams going to go play to one team. We were the Dallas offense, Dallas defense, and the Dallas special teams. And I think that stemmed from the over delegation. You know what I'm saying? So I didn't like that. We weren't really cohesive as a unit, and it showed up in big games as well. You got anything for that one?
Yeah, 1000%. And I've been talking about, Sky's been talking about it, one band, one sound. Because think about it right now. What is everyone talking about? I've done videos on it. You've done videos on it. Brian Schottenheimer's DNA is run the ball. Now we'll see if that's true, but that is his DNA from Pete Carroll to, back for the Jets. Like the list goes, like he running the ball is in Schotty's DNA. That is not in Mike McCarthy's DNA at all. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like he could care less about running backs. He might put a little gadget guy back there, a little scat back, he can dump the ball to, but that's not Mike McCarthy's philosophy. So then you have, boom, I'm the head coach, the play caller, quote unquote, but I'm a pass first guy. Dak Prescott's a pass first guy. Shotty's sitting up in the booth thinking I should run the damn ball, but that's really not his, his philosophy. It's just too many different ideologies going across the board, and no one's on the same page. And you mentioned that with the defense. I felt like even when you saw it under Dan Quinn and also with Mike Zimmer, it was defense was his own little team, like you said, Lou. You saw the secondary guys and the corners kind of hanging around each other. You had 7-Eleven and Micah and Diggs, like they were over here, J-Ron Curse and those guys. And then it was the offense over here. It was like completely 2 separate teams. Like now in my college, that's how it was. Like our defense, we all were roommates. All my roommates were defense. We had practice of defense, lunch, study hall, defense. But like you want to break down those barriers. And I think that was the one thing Shotty probably sat back and says, I don't like that. Like Billy, I don't like that shit. You know what I'm saying? Like he probably sit back and said, I don't like that. Yeah. And that's what he's changing. But Mike McCarthy was like, hey, the quarterback is the cream of the crop. Yeah. So I'm going to lunch with Dak, Cooper Rush and Dak can come and meet my family. Hey, y'all go hang out with Zim or something. You know what I'm saying? Like, they ain't got nothing to do with me. Cooper Rush, Will Greer, whatever, y'all come with me and we're going to have these little meetings. But it was just that segregation, because what happens is you start to look at certain position groups as the favorites. The offense gets all of this, and Mike's just the offensive guy, and he don't really care about the defense and not saying too much. Like that was kind of sentiment. So that's what Shotty is going to change. So yeah, I definitely think that was a fault of Mike McCarthy.
And then just my last gripe with him, he seemed to lost the big games all the same exact way. And the one thing, football wise, I hated is he just didn't get the guys up. Like when it was time, we always had these slow starts. And I wonder how much this really contributed to the front office. Like, like even though that's a wild statement to say, or, is it his coaching style? Is it the over delegation? Like they finally getting it, now he gets on the headset and he gets everybody in the meeting, and we're finally meeting once as a meeting other than in team meetings and saying, hey, let's pick this up. It was a constant time. Like he always started slow every time.
Right. Yeah. I agree. The slow starts was bad. I mean, we'll talk about, even the splits with the offense and some of the play
Oh my
calling and
God.
stuff like that, clock management. So like I said, he's no damn angel. So people are like, oh, he's no. Like he had his faults. But I'll say this, like I feel like when it comes to just football, when you play the game at a high level, sometimes you find your energies from different sources. Like you can have Andy Reid, right? Andy Reid isn't a rah electric coach, get you fired up pregame. But you have two dogs in Pat Mahomes and Travis Kelce and also Chris Jones that they lead that charge, right? So when you're walking out the tunnel and I can look into Pat Mahomes' eyes and be like, hey, we got this shit. It's a different type of energy. You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So Mike wasn't a rah guy. He wasn't a swagger guy. Because even like in Philadelphia, as much as we hate them, like Nick Sirianni, if you love him or hate him, he has this confidence that kind of just oozes on to the team, whether you're confident or not, right? Mike was just a football coach. And I just don't see Mike. And he tried to do it like his first year, like going for it on fourth down, being but he just lost it. So I'm not sure if it was something behind the scenes that kind of pulled his soul, but you never saw Mike like getting in someone's face and be like, let's go. Or, it was just kind of just like, whatever. Going back out there, you know what I'm saying? That got it. So like, where was the fire? Where was the passion? You just never saw it. So it's like, that is what I think that was the reason for the slow starts. I think that was the reason before the bad games and the playoff losses. I've heard guys talk about having bad weeks of practice during big weeks. Is that on the guys or the coaches? All combined. You know what I'm saying? All combined. Like I'll say this, Mitch, and you can speak on this, Lou. If we're in the playoffs, okay, and we're about to play Green Bay, and you're waiting on the coach to fire you up, there's something wrong with you. You know what I'm saying? Like there is something wrong with you where, you know what I'm saying? You have the opportunity to have a home playoff game versus the Packers, right, and you waiting on Mike McCarthy to fire you up, bro. Like there's a problem with you, but also Mike McCarthy has to be able to sit back and say the energy's different. You know what I'm saying? The energy's off. I have to make an adjustment, right? I cannot have this team go out there, whether it's the sleep schedule or something. I have to do something. So like, I'll tell you guys this all the time as a high school, right? When my high school coach used to realize we were flat in practice, he'd be like, hey, Lou,
stop this. Hey.
Now he'd be like, Lou, number 55, go push him in the back.
He started,
you know what I'm saying? Yeah, he would just, and somebody, all of a sudden you walking around, you get pushed in the back, you start throwing blows, offense and defense start throwing blows, the big rumble, coach is sitting back. All right, break it up. So he's just doing something to get you all hyped up. And now I'm on the defense like, nah, F that. You know what I'm saying? Don't you push my dog. So now it's amped up a little bit. Now we're revved up a little bit. So you got to pick the energy up sometimes. I just don't think Mike had that. It'd probably just be like, we was flat today. You know what I'm saying? Like, flat today. Did you make any adjustments? Did you yank somebody out of practice for being flat? Did you lead by example? So I think those are some of the faults when it comes to Mike McCarthy as well. Like I just never felt the energy for him. Like, oh shit. I tell you guys, the one time I ever saw it, and I don't think it was Mike McCarthy, it was the year that Dak Prescott came back from the ankle injury and we played in Tampa week 1. When I tell you guys that team came out the tunnel and I said, oh, who is this?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I was like, it was just a different type of energy. And I remember I looked behind those Bucks fans. I was sitting right there by the cannons, and I said, y'all got us effed up to come to the ball tonight. I was like, I don't know who this team was. I don't know what happened that game, but I got goosebumps the way how focused this team was when they came out that tunnel. But then there's some games where it's just like they zombies, like, you can gauge it. If it's a noon game versus a no-name team like the Saints, expect the Cowboys to come out and get flat. If it's a noon game versus the Denver Broncos, you can expect the Dallas Cowboys to come out and like. So where's the consistency? That's what we're missing.
I think that's them just looking at the mainstream media. Like right. that's the only constant I can find. They getting up because I remember the talking heads about going in. Oh, it's the Buccaneers. Tom Brady finna put them out. They misery.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
They're afraid.
You know what I'm saying? Now I do blame McCarthy from right there. See, you can't let that get too involved. You got to catch them because the
Mm-hmm.
very next week, oh, we're undefeated at home, and
Mm-hmm.
our home environment ain't really what it is.
Yes, I was trying, Lou.
Like,
Lou, I was trying. I got stoned to death. I was
uh,
like, listen, that home environment is not what y'all think that
the
is, but
real
people bought it.
the real
And
fans,
the fact
yeah,
that there was Cowboys players who remain on the name, who had party flyers and post-game celebration part. Like that shit should have been nipped in the butt from the start. You know what I'm
yes,
saying? And it was just too lax.
yes.
It's too lax.
Man, the real fans, if we were there, they like me, money funny and credit won't get it. You know what I'm saying? We will turn that environment up, but that's just not how the home game.
Everybody was asleep. Like I remember that Green Bay game. One, it was cold, so there was nobody outside tailgating. Dez had a tailgate. It was empty. Like the energy, like that whole week being in that. I went to Dallas Wednesday for that game. The whole just energy did not feel off because there were so many Cowboys fans. Yo, y'all coming to the game? Nah, we're gonna come to the next one because that's gonna be at home.
See, stop. That's the wrong mindset.
So they were already thinking, oh no, I ain't gonna spend money going to Green Bay, man. Because if we win, we'll get another home game. So I'm gonna come to that one.
Right. Yeah.
All right.
Like we were two in when the moment you start looking in the future as a playoff team,
right.
It's over for you right now. Like
everybody
back to 2017-16. Remember, I think the Saints, they was already getting ready, calling about the parade. Minneapolis Miracle happened. You know what I'm saying?
And see what the Dallas Cowboys need, and I hope Shotty is this. I'm not sure, but we need a coach, and this is why I was kind of screaming for like a Bill Belichick, you know what I'm saying, or someone like that to tell you, hey, y'all won a few games, but y'all still not shit. Like we need, because with all of the glitz and the glamour and the praises and this and that, right? You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? Y'all beat Mac Jones. Like Tuck is saying, y'all beat Mac Jones, Zach Wilson. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Like y'all ain't beat no killers yet. Like, so let's pump the brakes. But everyone starts singing their praises. They start feeling themselves, and you get sounds from the sideline every week. Like you start feeling something that isn't really there, and then you meet a team who's been hungry and been in some dogfights like Green Bay. Like people slept that Green Bay been to Kansas City and went through a scrap. They scrapped with some teams and was close. Coming to Dallas, y'all, I told Cowboys fans this all the time, it is a neutral stadium for opposing teams. It's neutral.
It is.
It's neutral. It's hella neutral.
It's a show.
Yeah, it's a show. It's a show.
It's Apollo Theater. That's all it is. But let's transition to Shotty. Almost 500 people in here, man. Make sure to like, subscribe the video. You know what I'm saying? Show some love. We appreciate. We see all the comments and everything like that. Super chat if you want. You need to change the subject and everything like that. Let's leave with the bad with Shotty, because I think it's too much good. So the bad with Shotty, I can firmly say, it's funny enough. I hope Shotty does not have a set bucket list. If I mean. So I think he was sitting around. I do think he was the evil genius, describing his plan and everything like that. But the thing about a set bucket list is that it ends. You know what I'm saying? And there's the part of coaching where you're going to have to wing it and everything like that. And are you prepared to actually wing it? So right now, I love what he's doing. It's the opposite of Mike McCarthy. Mike McCarthy was laid back with the the personnel. He's taking initiative. You know what I'm saying? Like no, I want that. Let's everything like that, because that's the difference between, if you take initiative, you end up with a George Pickens versus a Brandon Cooks. You know what I'm saying? Or the coaching hires. He's taking initiative with that. He's taking initiative to make a welcoming, a care culture environment for these players. Even though I can't admit that's Mike McCarthy's MO, but I'm saying this. I hope what he has and what he has planned, there is not a end of page. There is not a period at the end of this sentence. Because when we get into those games, have you actually been preparing and actually you just didn't write down your gripes with McCarthy. You actually took something from McCarthy and wanted to build upon it.
Right. Yeah, I think one of my things when it comes to Shotty, like I said, I love the energy. Like I like the youth. I like the coaching staff that he put together. And going back to video games, I hope Shotty isn't focusing too much on the side missions versus the main mission. Right. because I feel like he's doing okay. Yeah, you went to dinner with Pickens, you went to dinner with this, you're doing okay. But from the football perspective, that is what's really going to matter, and that's what's going to build your trust. Because even if you my best friend Lou, and you my dog, and you know my kid's name, and I know your kid's name, and we hella cool, if we get out there on Sunday and your play calling is trash and we are losing, that goes out the window. So I think that when it comes down to Shotty is I want to see how he is in live action. And what you always have to worry about when you have new hires, especially getting their first opportunity, is they'll stretch themselves thin when it comes to excitement. I always remember this story. I talked about it on my channel, right, in sales. I got a brand new kid, came out of college out of Kansas State, just graduated. So he was just so eager to be in the industry. He was working weekends and taking his laptop home, and he was doing all the extra, and every team meeting he was speaking up, and he wanted to go to happy hour. He was doing all this extra. And so he was like, yo, why don't you work on weekends? I was like, bro, because once you build your book of business, it's going to be too much for you to do and you won't be able to maintain it. Oh man, no. And then it started off. And then once he started setting those weekend meetings and his book of business grew, well, now your clients have the expectation to meet with you every Saturday because you used to do it back in the day. But now you're too stretched thin because too much is going on. So now you stressed out, but now your numbers are falling. Now you're off that ramp up period where your commissions really count. Like, so all the cute fun stuff has gone out the window. Now you're stressed out, not worried about happy hours, right? So everything is fun and games where you're in the ramp up period, right? Shotty can do no wrong right now. Every interview is a banger. Hell, he even got my wife sold in interviews. Okay, but let's see if we get off to a slow start, how Cowboys fans start thinking about those interviews. They're going to sound scripted. They're going to sound right. So it's like, okay, I get it. But we're going to create the best culture in ever seen in sports. And we're going to have the best practices. Just calm down. It's a little bit, bro. It's just, you know what I'm saying? It's calm down. Hey, we're going to work hard. We're going to grind. But I get the excitement. It's the opportunity of a lifetime for him. But sometimes you got to kind of worry because, yeah, the front office, they're working with you right now. And, you know, you won your battle with Tyler Booker right now. Keep playing and they will spin the block. You know what I'm saying? They will spin the block on you because they care about no one but themselves. They were all cute and cuddly with Mike at first. And then it was like, nah, bro, you not getting Rico. We're going to give you Zeke. And you not going to get Matthew Bergeron. We're going to dump Mozzie on you. We're going, you know what I'm saying? And once those games start playing, you hear rumors about Jason Witten and Sean Payton and this and that. All right. Then how is it going to be, right? So I'd say just pump your brakes a little bit, Shotty.
And then I'm going to use an analogy for what I'm scared for Shotty. Shotty's known as the chameleon.
Right.
He's known as, you know, being able to take, you know, on, you know, and mold with the environment and everything like that. But my fear with Shotty is that he's taken on all those, you know, environments, those personalities, and he forgets himself. You know what I'm saying? To a degree.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So I think, you know, I wish I would have made it the graphic. Everyone watch Game of Thrones? Good. You know, it's one of my favorite shows. So I love Shotty because he reminds me of my favorite character, Tyrion Lannister. You know what I'm saying? And I love how he was able to actually be the show and play the Game of Thrones. You know, he knew what emotion needed, you know, for which king when he was serving a king. I think McCarthy was a Robert Baratheon. You know what I'm saying? He led with, you know, he led with might. He led with power and everything like that. And it showed in his emotion, the way he fought the Joneses and everything like that, his pettiness and everything like that. And yeah, if y'all seen the show, that, you know, that got in Robert Baratheon, that constant need to know, you know, always want to fight and everything like that drove him insane and actually blinded him to the enemies being closer than what they are. You know what I'm saying? And so my thing, what I'm saying is the problem with Tyrion, and we saw later on, is that him being a chameleon and being able to play, sometimes he turned from that chameleon to a bystander, just, you know, trying to be, you know, appease people's emotions, and you let, you know, people run rampant. You know what I'm saying? So that's my fear with Shotty. Right now, we get this guy who knows how to play the game and everything like that, but there may be a period, you know what I'm saying, when the bullets are flying, and we know the Joneses, the big old dragon, you know, we know the dragons of Jones, you know, House of Dragon, House of Jones, you know what I'm saying?
Right, yeah.
What are you going to start? What are you going to do in that moment? Are you going to stay back and watch them tear it up and try to appease everyone and pick up what you had? Or are you going to be a chameleon and actually turn up and stand up for when it's needed. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So yeah.
Yeah, 1000%. And I do think that Barathe's, analogy from Mike is spot on because, even like with the Trey Lance thing, bro, like he was so petty, bro, when he fought with Trey Lance. Is like, oh, all right, this is what y'all want. This is what y'all just burnt my 4th round pick. All right, go out there in preseason, throw 50 times.
Right.
It was just petty shit. You know what I'm saying? So he really made the Joneses and Jerry Jones look bad because like everyone was saying this is who you trade our 4th round pick for. This is why we couldn't get Bucky Irving because you got this quarterback. So it just looked goofy. So Jerry said back, but it's like you're saying like the ego, bro, because Jerry wanted Mike back and he even said, nah, I'm cool, I walked, right? The Zeke thing, you know what I'm saying? Like, so there were so many of those little situations where he, like me and Boss had did numerous shows like, yo, Mike McCarthy is giving Kellen Moore enough rope just to hang himself because that interception problem that Dak was going through, Mike could have fixed it, but Mike was kind of sit over there like that's yeah. I mean, if it was up to me personally, I wouldn't do option routes. You know what I'm saying?
Even lied like I'll run the ball. You know
what I'm saying? Hey, you know what I'm saying? Hey, what Mozzie Smith struggling? Hey, well, I wanted Matthew Bergeron, dog. So I mean, hey, so it was one of those things. So yeah, I agree that Shotty is going to be able to blend and maybe massage it, but sometimes you got to know what you're dealing with, and you're dealing with. I don't want to say that, but you're dancing with someone who is talented when it comes to the Joneses, bro. You know what I'm saying? You're dancing with some dragons.
Yeah, that big one.
And soon as they get a slight
sniff.
Little nudge, that
sniff, yeah.
Well, so man, hey, Jason texted me last night. Yeah, he said he'd be interested in it. All right, let's burn this shit down. Let's, you know what I'm saying? Let's burn it down. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Let's burn it down to get what they want. So, I'm really pulling for Shotty. I like him. It's not like I hate Shotty. My biggest when it came to Shotty is because it's going to take a minute for him to build what he wants to build. And I don't know if Cowboys fans are going to be patient enough, and I don't know if the Joneses are going to be patient enough. Because if you're wanting instant success, I'm just hard pressed to say it's going to happen this year. I think it's going to be a little of a pullback. Right, it's going to be some learning curves. We talk about Mike McCarthy's clock management. Shotty's going to have to learn it. Like,
everybody deals with clock management.
Everyone's going to deal with it, and there's going to be some situations where it could cost us. So if you tell me, Tuck, what do you think about Shotty in 3 years? Yeah, absolutely. Great hire. I'm with it. But if you're telling me like this year, it doesn't feel that way, So it's going to I really hope that the Joneses will get behind Shotty for the long term and that he's just not the bridge until they can find out who they really want.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like you said, hey man, we had 530 people. Make sure to like the video, get them likes up. I don't even know where we at, but I know y'all need to like the video. He said nah. He said nah. He was Ned Stark. Nah. Show who was Ned Stark is I'm blanking on his name. We just talked about him.
Dan Quinn.
No. I'm talking about I'm blanking on his name. The coach before McCarthy.
Garrett
was Garrett showed up on the day he showed up to work on his day his contract was expiring. That's an honorable man right there.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, Kellen Joffrey. That's
yeah.
I'm saying like he gave enough rope for you know what I'm saying?
Right, yeah.
Like
Mike was petty, bro. Mike was hella petty, bro. Like he could have stopped that Kellen Moore interception option route shit. He's like, nah, bro. I'm
I can have it. You want to do that? Like that. He's over here just gaslighting. Oh,
right, yeah.
You want to do that? Okay.
Yeah.
That's a nice little thing you got going right there.
Okay. Cool. Yeah.
Go ahead.
That's nice. Yeah, go ahead.
Hey, bring the
You're offensive coordinator. That's why we hired you.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, you're the man. Hey, you the man. You the man. You're their son. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Go ahead. So I mean, we're gonna end it off with the things that I do like from Shotty. I'm gonna be honest with you. I know we still need to put pen to paper. But one thing I'm very impressed with, he's going directly at the heart of what the Joneses have been doing to literally scrutinize his team. And that's that playing the guys they pick and not letting true competition persist. I absolutely love that. I think it's genius. I think that, this is the perfect way to do it. I think what McCarthy's problem was is that, you know, he was just so prideful and boastful that he just want to fight. He's going to be petty with them. You know what I'm saying? He's like, oh, you want to fight? You know, you want to bring Zeke back?
Right.
Watch me not play him. Yeah, all right. You know what I'm saying? And he had that same mentality. He thought, you know, fighting the Jones is getting just as nasty with them, which I love. I wish that would work, but you can't do that. You know, in this game of chess, when the guy is literally controlling the entire board in the finish line like that. I think the way to fight the Joneses is to go at it from another direction. So their whole point is the money and everything like that. Let's attack these players. Let's attack their actual pride and joy, and let's bring up that dome. Let's let's put that guilt factor up there. If you want to, I'm telling, and he's trying to get us involved, Cowboy Nation, casual or not. I know some of y'all just get drunk and watch the game. Ain't nothing wrong with that.
Right. Ain't nothing wrong with that. I envy y'all.
I envy y'all. You know, ignorance is bliss. I just hate when y'all come in here and try to tell me my work, you know. You know what I'm saying? But he's trying to show y'all, like, hey, I'm trying to lead with competition. So when competition don't exist, there's a nuke for y'all to press. Y'all pressed it last time with wide receiver 2. You know what I'm saying? You know, you got Steven. Oh, they motivate me. You know, the money. In other words, translation, the money motivates him. You know what I'm saying? Like impressing you. You know, it motivates you. But I'm saying, I am glad that Shotty is taking this approach. It's very smart by him. It's going to also, if it does persist, there's this inner, you know, guilt that the player who's not better, because when we hear him wins and losses, we see it on Twitter already. Is he going at, you know, reporters like, oh yeah, you talking about my loss, but what about the wins? You know, like we're seeing them starting to take pride in that. And I feel like even when the guy who's been losing wins the job, you know what I'm saying, that's got to push him to be better than what he is. Because, you know, we in the corner talking about, man, you out there on film, you just looking goofy. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You know that y'all know that guilt after we play the game, and you know that play coming up and everything like that. You know it,
right?
And the entire team is looking at you like, we didn't see that.
Quiet. You know, you sit in the back of the film room.
You like. Yeah, and the coach over here playing it over and over again with the laser. That's see. I think how to attack them is attack who the Joneses value, and they value their money. Their money is their players. They value them picks, and everything like that. So that's my thing. I'm glad he's doing that.
Yeah, shoot the gap, Tucker. What's your responsibility? Hey, gap. So why aren't you, Nate?
What was you thinking right here? You know,
what are you thinking? Hesitating. We don't, you know what I'm saying? Like, oh man, getting cooked. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, I think that, you know, we'll have to see how it all unfolds, because, you know, I felt like Mike McCarthy attempted it. It gets ugly, right? So I know the hot topic button everyone's talking about is Spound Ford versus, you know, Ferg, right? Yeah. Let's say that if we're looking at camp, we're looking at preseason, and Span Ford is night and day above Ferg, right? Can Shotty stand on the table and say, that's my tight end one, right? When it's we drafted him, it's a contract here, that's our guy. Looking at our market analysis, our fan base really supports Jake, and, you know, like, so it's like, will he be able to win those battles when it matters most? And that's what we'll have to sit back and see. But when you have that type of environment, when you know that, hey, if I go out here and bust my ass, I can win this job, it creates that type of last man mentality where your bottom person to 53 is competitive as hell, because they know I got a chance here. And I think that a lot of people overlook that when it comes to our UDFAs. If I'm a UDFA, I'm going to Dallas because I have an opportunity, bro, to make a roster. You know what I'm saying? If I go to Philly, they can give a damn about me, his practice squad. But if I'm a UDFA and I go out there and prove myself, I got a good opportunity to make this roster in Dallas, right? I think that needs to be across the board, where there shouldn't be a lot of people that's safe. You know, it shouldn't be I know that Jalen Tober was a 3rd round pick. If Mingo balls out, so be it. He got to go.
I see.
You know what I'm saying?
You know, hey, people screw now. Hey, if Tober ain't balling, I'll cut him. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? And people say, "Oh, we can't." Yes, the hell if we can, bro. The hell if we can. You can. And I said the same thing about Sam Williams. Let Donovan D easy turn up, bro. Sam Williams, he got it. I get the dog emojis. I get it was a cute story, bro, but it's best man up, right? If Tyler Guyton ain't cutting it, then put in Austin Richards. We can't have favoritism when you're trying to win a championship. I just think that. So yeah, so I don't want competition to only win in the locker room on the ping pong table. I want it to win between the lines on the field. So we're sitting back and seeing it. It'll be noticeable to hell, especially when it comes to our running back court. Hey, if Deuce ain't cutting it, Deuce got to go. I understand the cute story. We all clapped, right? You got to go. So it's just one of those things where I really want Shotty to win, because I feel like if he wins those battles, it's going to be the best for the Dallas Cowboys in their future, to be honest with you.
It is, because I mean this has been the difference in those playoff games when it's time. And I'm talking about, when I say it, I'm talking about the divisional round.
Right.
Bump the wild card. You know what I'm saying? The
Right.
divisional round versus
Right.
San Fran versus, you know what I'm saying, the LA Rams. You know what I'm saying? Those teams, that entire 53, and sometimes they be adding guys like 2 weeks before into the playoffs. And,
Right.
and those guys come in and they've been working their ass off and they're hungry to impress. And we were trust fund, baby.
Right. Exactly.
Y'all played in college. Y'all seen in college. I'm gonna tell you, like, I'm gonna give y'all a heads up. There's this thing called the board, or who gives money to the booster kids.
Boosters, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And they pay, boosters pay the kid, to pay the coach's salary. They got some power like that. And they got a little kid that's been playing football, they've been playing all the nice gear all their life and everything like that. And they like, my dad, my dream is to play for the University of Georgia. Really? What's your number? 39. You know what I'm saying? Like, okay, we're gonna make that happen. And what the dad's gonna do is that he just wanna impress his son.
Right.
He's gonna go up to Kirby Smart, like, hey, listen, man, hey. You gonna
right? Yep.
You want that raise? You gonna play? You know what I'm saying? And Kirby look at him there in his face. This is what I love. We need to have this mentality at Georgia. I'll guarantee his ass a damn spot on this team. But the most he's gonna do is wear a jersey and some pants on the sideline and wave his damn towel.
And start a snap on senior night, and that's about it.
And that's you can come and walk his ass down here.
Right.
But don't you ever come and threaten my paycheck. We need to have that mentality here in Dallas. Because that's the difference right there. Because if that kid plays, that messes up the entire. I'm talking about, even he's on offense and special teams. That messes up everything that you have for this entire team. Like, I dealt with that before, even on high school. You know what I'm saying?
I dealt with it in college. Like, our running back in the time, man, because he was good, he was decent. But we had a running back who started over in college over Rudy Johnson, who played for the Bengals, right? So Kayla, my dog, was one of my roommates, right? He was like 6'4", 250, ran like a 4'2", 4'3". You know what I'm saying? A physical specimen. And we could not understand why Kalen wasn't getting the ball. Like, for someone who had to tackle him at practice. And it's because that Tyler's dad was a booster of the program. Some of the new Adidas jerseys that we got, be thankful. You know what I'm saying? And it was such a split in our locker room, because we would lose games thinking, why is Kalen getting 2 to 3 carries a game? You know what I'm saying? So it's just like one of those things. You don't want that type of environment. You want the best of the best. And you want the type of culture where it's not fake confidence, it's real, it's genuine, right? So even with the 49ers, and I know a lot of people talk about this, Lou, I get it, it's just a boombox, but it's a mentality, bro. It's a mentality, bro. Like, I don't think people understand it. We've all seen it. We all play teams. They come out there, they might got the smoke machine. You're like, oh shit, they come. You know what I'm saying? They got the all blacks on tonight. You know what I'm saying? Like, all right, dog, it's time to strap it up. Like, it's a mentality. I feel like the real culture I want Shotty to change is this corporate country club mentality when it comes to Dallas. If you do all these extra things and that doesn't change, we will have the same results. I want teams to play the Dallas Cowboys, but man, I'm tired of playing Dallas. They dirty, you know what I'm saying? They grimy, you know what I'm saying? Like, I want that type, because a lot of kids don't understand these Super Bowl teams in the 90s. People hate playing against the Cowboys. We was dirty. We was arrogant. Our fan base at Old Texas Stadium, we was violent, you know what I'm saying? Like, it was a grimy, gritty ass place to play, and our team just encompassed everything. AT&T, wine and cheese, comfort. We come out to the same old song. The same old guy plays the trumpet. No knock to Freddie. You know what I'm saying? Cheerleaders to the same. Like it's so routine where it's the same thing over and over, and teams don't respect it. I would like to see, hey, bro, Cowboys came out on some new shit today.
You know what I'm saying? Put some young boy on there.
I swear, bro, if I'm there for the opening game in Dallas versus New York, and they turn the lights off all black, and the Cowboys come out with some young boys, I'm going crazy. I might see me run on the field. You know what I'm saying? I'd be so damn hyped, but it's always rowdy run out. It's just a spectacle. Waving the flags, gas going up. Like, bro, it's football. When I tell people, when I was in San Francisco and I saw them come out that tunnel with them boom boxes, I was like, oh shit.
That's the best part of college football. That's what people don't understand.
Right. The environment.
Puts fear in people's hearts.
It puts fear in your heart.
It gets me riled up. You know what I'm saying?
It gets you riled up. Those 49ers, it's another 49ers first down. Who? You know what I'm saying? I had PTSD from that. Bro, every time George Kittle would get a catch, you would hear the Stone Cold Steve Austin glass break, and those fans would go crazy. Like, we don't have that. You know what I'm saying? That's what needs to change, where everybody, not from the front office and the players and coaching staff, the fan base, everybody needs to get in sync in a line and change the culture in Dallas. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, like it's perfectly safe. I mean, the best way I can say it, like at y'all jobs, you know what I'm saying? Say if y'all get new management and everything like that, and they be like, all right, break room, cut that to 15 minutes.
Right.
Get back to work.
Right.
And on outside, somebody third party man, like, oh, that's a little change, but that's a big change.
Right.
That's going against your everyday. At the end of the day, this is a job. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So just little changes like that makes coming to work just a little bit better. Makes playing the games a little bit better. Man, y'all seen that video that went viral with Texas A&M? They brought back what's that one song? Is a Kanye. And they blacked out that stadium.
Right, yeah.
And hey, if I'm getting ready, I'm finna come out and knock somebody head off.
You just, I mean, even on the video game,
bro.
On the video
game, like,
I'm playing CFB 26, bro, and we started walking out the tunnel in this.
I'm finna Notre Dame, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I always wanted to go to Texas. Put your horns on the big long horn. I actually went, I was a recruit. Big experience, you know what I'm saying? Got to put my horns on the Longhorn, you know what I'm saying? That gets me riled.
It gives you goosebumps, bro. Being in Kansas City at Arrowhead, when they about to come out and they got a celebrity up there, Paul Rudd banging a drum. Like, that whole place is standing up. I'm like, God, bro. Cowboys come out. Hey, can you sit down? I can't.
No. This is how the Cowboys come out. This game is presented by AT&T. I'm like, wait. I thought I'm inside the game. Commercial.
Yeah. Go Cowboys! I'm like, bro.
No, play that big X plug. No. Because I'm from Texas. You know what I'm saying? Like, come on, man.
Rowdy gonna run out. That same music that y'all hear when we waiting for the press conferences to start. That's the same thing our Cowboys run the tunnel to.
Yeah, because the cheerleaders do that. I think that's their iconic thing. Yeah, the march. Oh my god, they can do it early. You know?
It's more about the cheerleaders. You know what I'm saying?
It's the brand. The brand.
Right.
The damn brand.
And that's the culture that needs to change, where it needs to become football over branding. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, this song might be a little bit turned up, you know what I'm saying? But this is what we're gonna come out to.
Man, shout out to NY Blue. We're gonna say this, we're gonna talk about this, and we're gonna get out of there. We appreciate everybody, man, coming in here. We at what, 564. Man, a lot of people showing love, man. Shotty will likely have a good first year because it's like the first year cornerback like Danielson, I think he's saying Stroud. May take a minute, teams to figure this game out. What do y'all think? I understand that type of thinking, like it's something new. I honestly hate that type of success. You know what I'm saying? That because it gets me scared. Because all it takes is one game, for them to figure you out. And that goes against Shotty's entire philosophy. He's been talking about right now, we're going to be a multiple offense and a multiple defense. That I can say this in one sentence where he wants to be. I don't want the league to figure me out. I want to be ever changing and everything like that. So I can see that. Hopefully, we can get that Washington Commanders type, thing. But this is the key thing, though, with them other teams and with us. You heard Irvin Magic Johnson said, "Hey, we did our thing and got him, everything he needed, and then we got out the way."
Got out the way, right? We got out the way. And another thing that doesn't allow us to do what the Commanders did, y'all, is that everybody gets up for us. You know what I'm saying? Whether I guarantee you, them Giants fans are coming to Dallas, they gonna be turned up to beat. You know what I'm saying? So we don't get to just kind of float under the radar and beat a few people. You know what I'm saying? It's going to be everyone's biggest game that they have circled. So we don't get that opportunity. But I think the element of surprise thing, I'm with Lou. I really don't like that because think about this, right? We remember Mike McDonald or what's his coach? Yeah, and Dolphins coach. Is it McDonald? McDaniels, right? McDaniels, right? Innovative offense. Everyone loved that cheetah motion, and you know what I'm saying? And that shit got figured out in the next season. And it's just like, now what you got? You know what I'm saying? So like, all right, bro. So it's like you want to be able to kind of pivot, but what I would like to have is what's coming at you and you cannot stop.
You know what I'm saying?
We know what's coming at us. You can't. I mean, even when it comes to Kyle Shanahan ain't blah, 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 blah. Bro, we gonna run this zone option.
13 personnel. We're going outside zone. You better respect it. Keep right. You're gonna always have 4 on the right and 3 on the left in terms of numbers because I'm gonna set the strong over here and I'm gonna always have a threat of running backside with you. So, but guess what? George Kittle gonna come punch you in your damn mouth. Kyle Juszczyk will come punch you in your damn mouth.
Right.
And Christian McCaffrey's
gonna the whole man. And think about this. Why did the 49ers, Lou, have that mentality? Who was their GM? John Lynch. For you kids who do not know, John Lynch was that same way. Punch in the mouth, blue collar, gritty. You know what I'm saying? So it mirrors that. Typically, when you have a team, they mirror their coach, whether it's Little League. If you ever seen like a Little League team and they coach is swagged out, yelling, them little kids probably some little assholes too, right? Because they get it from their coach, right? It's the same thing when it comes at the NFL level. So you want to be able, okay, who is Shotty? And just like Lou was saying before we close, I don't want Shotty being a chameleon where he's trying to be Pete Carroll, but I'm a little trying to be like my dad a little bit. I'm really trying to be like Rex, and I'm trying to be like a little bit from like, no, bro, just be you. You know what I'm saying? So if you like to drop F-bombs over the sideline, then let them rip. We'll worry about sides from the sideline later. You know what I'm saying? They don't have to edit. You know what I'm saying? Other work. Like, don't try to mimic everybody. Just be genuine who you want to be, and then let the team rally behind you.
I think who you are, Shotty, I'm gonna say this and we can go. I think you the modern version of your dad. Be honest with you. I was watching videos of your dad. Your dad was a no-nonsense type of MF. You know what I'm saying?
Right, yeah.
If boring is gonna get us there, boring is gonna get us there. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So, like, I hope you don't have any pressure because the Cowboys fans are gonna do that. Why we not like,
Right. I want to run offense. I mean, well, look at what Detroit did. They're throwing to their defensive tackles now. Like, why are we? That's why I keep saying all this motion shit, bro. Like, I get it, it's motion, but motion is nothing new to football. You know what I'm saying?
It's me. All it is just to get Dak more information, so I can come back to the damn thing. I would love it as a coach that I can get on Dak. Hey, Dak, we did motion. What they in? Oh, they in zone. How you know? They bumped. So why the hell are you throwing that damn? You know what I'm saying?
Right. So it's all it is. So I think people think this motion thing like it's a secret formula. It's only looks like a secret formula because we get our ass kicked by it. You know what I'm saying? That's why it looks so glitzer. You know what I'm saying? Glamorous with all like, oh, he said we're gonna do more motion, bro. Like motion has been around for a lot of, you know what I'm saying, a long time in football. It's nothing new.
No orbit, exit,
orbit, exit, cheetah, you know what I'm saying? All the fake zone sweeps and
if you know how to use it, if you know how to use it correctly,
right?
You know what I'm saying? And actually, if it means something, you're motioning over and you're creating, getting corners on the same level and running some type of switch concept and getting them, one-on-one and panicking with Pickens and CD.
Right.
Yeah, that's the genius. You know what I'm saying?
That's it.
You know what I'm saying? But just spamming it just because we don't do it, nah. You're just going in there blind, man.
I want motion 15 times, and one. Like, bro, come on, dog. Like, you know what I'm saying? Motion with a purpose, So yeah. So I believe personnel is important because we could have motion all year last year. It doesn't matter. Nobody was, you know what I'm saying? Need to communicate when it came to Jalen Tolbert and whoever our wide receivers was. So
yeah, man. So man, I appreciate y'all coming Appreciate you, Jay Tuck, for coming.
Appreciate
It
you
was a
having me, my dog.
phenomenal show. Phenomenal show. We got up to almost 600 people. Make sure to like and subscribe to the video, everyone. I'm gonna just plug this one thing. I'm finna do this series coming up. It's gonna be called Winter Battles. And I know we've been preaching winter is coming and everything like that. And, Game of Thrones and everything. This is gonna be different. This is not gonna be about the personnel. Even though, go get the D tackle, please. I'm begging you, please to go get the running back, please. And a nice cherry on top. Go give me Gilmore. Go give me a little corner. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Please. You know what I'm saying? But these winter battles are the battles that the Cowboys always lose. And it's gonna be straight X's and O's in football of common trends that I've been seeing that the Cowboys don't really handle really well, especially in the playoffs. You know what I'm saying? So just be on the lookout for that. J Tuck got more collabs coming. Always got the fire content coming. J Tuck is gonna come. And make sure to like, subscribe, turn on the notification bell, man. When I come in, hey man, our community don't be doing that, man. So y'all
right, the notification bell.
Don't be too. Oh, I didn't know y'all went live. You would have known if you would have turned on that
notification bell. Yeah, that's how y'all be seeing me on random channel. I got the notification bell. I get the alert like, hey, boss is live or JC's live or Rob. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
you can be here or you're gonna be square, man. But any final words before we say goodbye?
Nah, man. Lou, first and foremost, man, I say, man, I appreciate you, bro. Like JC, I see JC's in chat, Amson's chat. Like, I appreciate seeing, those of you guys who are coming to this game doing things the right way. Y'all, my retirement plan, man. The game will be in good hands. You know what I'm saying?
Retirement.
Yeah. So, it's good to see people who know the game, but not only do they know the game, they love the team that they cover when it comes to the Dallas Cowboys, and they're standing on righteousness, man. So it's been exciting to watch you grow, JC grow, Am grow. The list goes on and on. Angry. All those guys and girls in our community. So salute to everyone out there. And like I said, man, it's not a rift between Mike McCarthy and Brian Schottenheimer, because let's keep it a buck, y'all. If it wasn't for Mike McCarthy, we wouldn't have hired Brian Schottenheimer off the street. You know what I'm saying? So, So for y'all golden goose, you gotta give Mike McCarthy some credit for that. But I think the thing is going to be patient with Brian Schottenheimer. Let him build this. We have to get behind him because there's gonna be some battles. He's gonna need some help. He might gotta, hey Tuck, I need you. That defensive tackle thing ain't going well, Tuck. I need you. You know what I'm saying? Like, all right, y'all. So it's gonna be one of those things. But the thing I say I love the most about Brian Schottenheimer is getting to know these players. He's feeling like these players are starting to rally behind him. He's earning their trust, and we'll have to see how it goes from there. But I'm excited to see about it, how this new energy is going to impact our roster, man. So appreciate y'all, man. If you see me for the first time, of course, CFO Sports on my YouTube channel, JTuck151 on all social media platforms, and also happy Father's Day to all my fathers out there, man, who do a wonderful job. I know sometimes we just get the big piece of chicken. Damn that, man.
A wrench, a
little crayon card or something like that. Like, nah, man, enjoy your time. Spend some time with your boys. I'm about to go whip up on my boys here in bowling here in a second, man, and just spend some time with my family. But salute to all the fathers out there. Keep doing an incredible job, fellas. I support y'all and appreciate y'all.
Yeah, man. Hey, salute to all the content creators. We all know the sacrifice and everything like that. Subscribe to their channel and everything like that. Show love, JC, Amp. I saw DMV. I saw Rom. If I'm getting anybody, man, I really appreciate it. Angry Cowboys fan, man. Hey,
Angry,
shout out,
my dog, Angry.
Hey, prayers to you, Angry, man.
Prayers, Angry.
You know what I'm saying? It's a sacrifice doing this, but we do this because we love the game and we love y'all, man. But listen, man. We appreciate it. Everybody who came out, man. Thank you so much, man. Until next time, man. We out.